Welcome to On the Chain Roundtable. This is Jeff. We are here with a very important guest tonight. If you guys don't know who he is, you're going to get to know him today on the show with us. We have Rob, who is the CEO and founder of the Cinnamon platform. The Cinnamon platform that is making a huge splash in the decentralized video social media space. Rob, welcome to On the Chain Roundtable.
Hi guys, it's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome, and I am here as always with co-host Chip.
Hey, good to have you, Rob.
I'm fired up.
Definitely.
This is going to be a great show. We've wanted to have Rob on the show for months and months and months, and we finally have him here.
And he's been super busy building this amazing platform. So
that's right. He had an excuse. So
thank you.
Man, what do you think, Chip? I think it's ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And now, the roundtable with Jeff and Chip on the chain.
Boom.
Welcome back. Welcome. So just a quick shout out to everybody that's here with us tonight. I know there's a lot of XRP fans that are on the show with us this evening. And as Cinnamon is a platform that is actually built using Coil and using the XRP digital asset built in, I think this is a great place to start the conversation tonight. Is focused on that part of it. Why XRP? Why Coil?
So, I've been a fan of Ripple since late 2012. They've been rebranding from OpenCoin to Ripple, and it was just one blockchain technology that was sticking to my mind for ages, and that was the first time that I've been involved in crypto space, and I've been trying to understand the blockchain and how it can evolve in the future. It was also the time when there were open source tools to auto-generate your own blockchains like Dogecoin, and right after that, like in I don't know, year or two, I completely forgot about crypto until 2017 when ICOs became popular. At that time, I worked for a bank locally in Czech Republic as user experience designer. And as you know, banks and financial institutions are playing a huge role in Ripple's ecosystem and business strategy. So my colleagues told me about everything going on in crypto, and I started digging into it more. I found my wallets after, I don't know, 4 years, and started learning about new strategies of Ripple. At that time, I figured out that they've been working on something called Interledger, and I was amazed by that technology. And as a user experience designer, I saw a huge opportunity in the mainstream and how we could send money in the way we send data over internet. So in 2018, when Stefan Thomas, ex-CTO of Ripple, established Coil, that was a time when I contacted Stefan and started learning even more about his vision of Interledger working on in the future, as well as what Coil was aiming to do with their business model. And at that time, he hired me to help them out with a couple of user experience challenges. And based on my learnings, I decided that it would be great to maybe challenge YouTube and other players where creators are definitely struggling, and that hasn't changed. So we're just like, the sole idea of Cinnamon was to build a platform that treats creators in a better way, and stream payments to them in real time using Interledger, on top of XRP and Ripple technology. That was super fascinated, as well as the biggest efficiency of sending payments through that ledger. So because of that, we started off early last year, and now we are going to roll out the completely new face of Cinnamon.
That's nice. Yeah, and
Is it enough?
Go ahead.
Is this enough for you?
Well, it's perfect. Yeah, it was a good elaboration. Sometimes it's better than a 3-word answer, which sometimes happens, but no, that was awesome. It was I think it's important for people to understand kind of how it sort of came to be, because inspiration means a lot in the space when you find out what inspired somebody to create it. Now, when you mention creators, we know this ourselves. So we've seen somebody we know, it's kind of in our space, the XRP space, their video, their channel was deleted off of YouTube. There was no strike. There was no, hey, wait a minute, we're gonna censor you, sit you on the sidelines for 7 days. Midstream of a live stream, it got deleted. And then recently, somebody else in the community, Patricia C., who you know because I know I think your team's worked with her on plan and stuff. I know she wrote a blog post about it, but we were tweeting it out. She was off Twitter for a couple days. Like, she got just, and she doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. So we saw her get shut down. So when we see creators that are being censored on different platforms, but mostly YouTube, what is your approach to censorship, or what creators do? Because on YouTube, there's certain words we know we can't say. We can't say them. We don't want to go there. We don't want people to say them, because if you say them, it picks it up in the algorithm. So what is your approach to censorship?
So firstly, let me go back a bit and describe you our thinking of these social media. I don't know if you have had a chance to watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix, but that describes it pretty well. Those platforms are relying on advertisement. Because of that, brands in couple of times, they just don't want to be aligned with the content you present. So whenever these medias will flag a couple of words that are not aligned with ads they want to display, they will just start limiting you and your creativity. And we don't do that, because the advertisement will never ever be on the platform. We have completely new and different business model, and because of that, we are able to be more open for creativity. And unless you are not violating our community guidelines, you're fine. Then, of course, people can report your video, and we can flag it during the processing and see that there is, I don't know, pornography or something like that. So that's not something that we want. But apart from it, we don't see any reason to demonetize you or just ban you on our platform, unless you are not doing anything harmful to the audience. Exactly. And we're also working on some ways to flag videos and then put a disclaimer before you will start watching the content, with all the fractions that can appear on that content, or maybe not from your perspective, but just to let you know that, okay, so this is what may be on that video, and if you accept it, you can start watching the content. If you don't accept it, then you'll not watch it, and everybody's fine, and it's a win-win.
So that's it's interesting, because this dilemma of trying to censor or have the approach from a platform. There's a lot of difficulty that I think you're bringing up, and the social dilemma. Somebody else was telling me about that on Netflix as well. It's like a must-watch to go through everything, all the issues. But here's the difficulty that you're facing. That you're already talking about, potentially flagging specific content. So I know that there's, a lot that's going to have to go into it, a lot of thought process. Whereas right now on the YouTube side, on Facebook, on Twitter, they're taking an approach that somewhere behind the scenes, they're deciding what content is factual, what content isn't factual. So they're beginning to fact check all the content. But the question is, whose facts are they using? Is it based on real fact, or is it based on their fact? Because sometimes there's an interpretation of fact, and that's what we're seeing right now. That's why they're blocking people. But isn't the sharing of information, at least here in the U.S. and now as we're seeing social media in general, it's kind of a freedom of thought. Where if I have an opinion on something, like one of the things that Chip brings up a lot are the flat earthers. And there's people that still believe that for whatever reason, that the Earth is flat, and they want to bring certain scientific data behind it. But the question is, should YouTube, ban those people and block them because they think that somehow they're going to convince other people that the world's flat, or do they let them continue? That's just a perfect, easy example to discuss. And so then, on the Cinnamon platform, how do you deal with it? How do you differentiate people's viewpoints? Do you say, if you're going to designate it, this is political content, that's it. If you want to watch political content, it's identified. Someone, when you uploaded it, you upload it as political content. If it's just comedy content, so how do you do that without, having somebody behind the scenes, checking things off and saying, no, I don't like this one, I don't like that one. It's so difficult. I definitely see where
it is. And like the very first precaution we did was with verifying creators. So from now on, every single creator jumping in will be verified throughout our process of the process is that initially you have to connect one of your social networks where you are already verified. You have that badge, and if you don't have that, then we'll start reviewing your work. So if you have at least one video, show it to us. We'll review that, and then we will do a survey with you. We will have an introduction call. We will start onboarding you to Cinnamon. We will let you know how it all works. What is Coil? What is the what are the wallet providers? What is the payment pointer? And based on that, we'll start figuring out who you are and how we can be helpful. And that's one thing. But of course, there may be a situation when you will be fine, and then you will start saying that your Earth is flat. So what to do in that case? If people start watching videos on Cinnamon with these informations, they will probably start reporting them as maybe not a fact, right? So if you will have enough reports, when you will go again to that video, the first thing you will see is the disclaimer saying that this is what people think about this, what this video may contain. And if there is it may not be a fact what you will see, and that's one of those things that you can do. It's similar with Netflix. Like when you will start watching video on Netflix or movie, it will say that there is a fiction, there is drugs, sex, alcohol, and based on that, you can be prepared. And like if you are sitting in front of the TV with your kids, you can just stop watching that, because they will put those disclaimers in front of you before the video will start playing, instead of just removing that video from the site.
Yeah, I like that
as an option.
I like that approach. I wanted to segue a little bit here because I want to get a little bit into the brand. So I've noticed that you've gone through sort of a branding change. So you have introduced a new Cinnamon logo, which I think is really cool. And so how did that come about, and what was the inspiration behind the new Cinnamon logo? And maybe I should just probably put it on here so folks can, let me add it to the stream here so we can see it. Let me see here.
So, first of all, we started we started redesigning the entire experience, and we knew that we will need a new logo, as the old logo was in 3D, and it was very hard to place on T-shirt or any other materials. So we knew that there needs to be a change. The reason for entire redesign of Cinnamon was simple. With the MVP that we launched last year, the goal was to be distinctive enough so people will see who we are and what we do. Today, we are going to approach masses worldwide, and because of that, we just don't want to have lovers and haters. We want to be somewhere in the middle, with the clean design, focused on the content itself, and not the opposite way around. Because if you look at our current site on Cinnamon.video, it's all playful and for some people childish. And if you are going to put your content on Cinnamon exclusively, it should, and people are going to pay for it, it should be more serious. So because of that, we've done that redesign. And I think, guys, you will love how the entire platform will look like. And the logo is simple. So it looks very similar to loading. And loading you can see across the entire web. So you'll have that attached to your to anytime you'll see something loading, you'll be like, okay, so this is similar to Cinnamon. And also it's just fragments. As we pay creators 4 times per second, this can tell you that like these are small segments of payments. And also we do that with shorts when we are cutting the video, or you will be cutting videos into smaller fragments and then sharing it across the web. So the idea is just to be serious, but also be able to do a lot. So that's why.
It's really exciting. You know, I mean, as you're taking on these behemoths like a YouTube, you know, and there's other players in the space that we know, like Contentos and Library and a few others. But you guys have really made some big impact, you know, especially focused in a specific community, especially really emphasizing the streaming payment experience, which is, I think it's unique, it's different, it's important because it's kind of a game changer just in general, you know, for the way people are compensated, and looking at the streaming micro payment space or whatever freelance project somebody does, you know, I think is kind of game changing. But here's an idea, just focused on your platform, on Cinnamon payments. One of the things that YouTube does that I think it's important, because when there's people watching a channel, and you like their content and you're watching a live show. So I know that you guys are going to introduce live streaming and premiering and all of that at some point in the future. Are you also going to incorporate something that would be comparable to a super chat, which allows people to say, hey, I love this content, I want to support these people even further, and I want to throw them, you know, $5 super chat, or $10 or $1 or whatever it might be? Are you going to give that kind of flexibility as well?
Yes, one of those features that is in our pipeline, but we haven't introduced it yet, is tipping, but in completely different ways. So you will be able to tip someone commenting a video straight from comments. You'll be able to tip creators.
That's nice.
You will go to different profile, and with just 2 clicks, you'll be able to support or /donate anyone. That's also part of our strategy to partner with wallet providers in the near future, and be able to create a wallet for you instantly when you will sign up to Cinnamon. So you'll not need to go through KYC of Uphold or GateHub initially, and once you will earn, I don't know, $1,000, then you can claim it on Uphold, and you still will not have to go through KYC.
Nice.
Until you will want to withdraw the money. At that point, you will be asked to proceed with KYC.
So you're removing the barriers, the friction points to get started quickly. Wow, it's like psychedelic, bro. Psychedelic. It's like,
really cool.
it's, the way it's set in the camera looks really awesome. So you're removing friction points and making it easier. You know. So as Jeff and I have been talking about this over the last week or so, it's interesting because when we look at your website, the beta.cinnamon.video, we have a lot of questions, but I'm wondering if it just makes sense to throw this up, because one of the things that, the video toolkit you always wanted with a platform you love. I think this is really good. And then this right here looks pretty exciting. So with this new short, I want to talk a little bit about this because, we talk a lot about, there's a lot of platforms out there, right? So you had Reels that was just introduced by Instagram. You have TikTok, all the popular ones, Snapchat, which my daughter uses, it's like everyone's now this right here. When I saw this, I was like, these guys are really taking it to the next level. So I want to see if we can talk a little bit about the shorts, what people might expect and how they might, how they work on the platform, because they're up to 15 seconds long.
Yeah. So this is something very exciting. We've been super thoughtful about this, and the reason why we even started thinking about shorts, it's very simple. Having web monetization and being part of the ecosystem surrounding Ripple and Coil is amazing, but and being even a platform, the first ever platform, video streaming platform that's also streamed payments to creators, is amazing. But we also wanted to have something unique for us, something special that no one ever has done, and these are shorts. So what it is, it's the combination of TikTok exploration with stories like navigation with YouTube-like engagement. So we spend days, even weeks on TikTok and on Instagram and on YouTube, figuring out what's the best that we could take from these platforms and combine it into one. So shorts are also super challenging on the server side to even accomplish, but we've been very successful with that. And what it does, so whenever I will watch original content, as I would do now on Cinnamon, there is another option to share content or repost it, and the option is to cut it. So let's say that I'm in 15-minute and 12-second of interview with myself, right? And with just one tap, I'll be able to select 5 or 15 seconds from that part when I'm actually at, and then place text, effects, or even loop it, and share it natively anywhere I want. And it will be also posted on Cinnamon. So on the mobile app, the experience is like you are exploring stories or list of shorts of one original, and if you like one of them, you'll just swipe and you are on the original right at that section. If you don't like any of those shorts, you'll just swipe up and you'll be on another list of shorts of another video, and you can share those natively anywhere you want, as a GIF, as a post, as a message, as a TikTok video.
That's nice.
Anything you want. So yeah.
Well, I think
that's impressive.
It is impressive, and I'll just say the big part right here, which we've been waiting for, are the whole apps. Like, so I signed up, waiting, because I look, that is like, to me, Cinnamon's always been pretty cool, but man, now if I get a notification when a creator, because there's some cool creators over there on the platform that I like, and it's all over the place, right? Different, everything from funny stuff to serious stuff. But now if I get an alert, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but the whole idea of having an iOS app and an Android app, you're covering the people. Having that native app, I think, is going to be really take Cinnamon to the next level, because a lot of times creators put stuff up and I don't know about it. You know, if I don't get that little buzz on my phone, oh, this is cool, let me check it out. So can you talk a little bit about how that might work, like when you think the apps are going to be released, and some maybe key points of the apps that are interesting?
So I can tell you that I have the app on my phone.
Wait a minute, Rob. Put it up there. Let's see it.
It's right here, but it's still not ready, and it will be ready in just a couple of weeks.
Wow.
I can't tell you when exactly, but you'll know when.
Nice.
Yeah. So let me just show you that I'm not lying to you.
Hang on a second. Let's hang on. There we go. Boom.
Look at that.
There's an app, right?
Oh, sweet.
Oh wow, look at that. I like that.
Wow.
That's nice. That's slick. Look at that.
That's super
Clean.
fast, man. Look at that.
Super clean.
So when you
know,
swipe,
right.
there you go. When you swipe to the side there, that was a creator, and now you get the full video type thing because you took an excerpt out of that.
Yeah. So
Look at that.
we'll
Oh, look at
swipe
that.
back.
I recognize
I
that
like
video.
rotation.
Oh,
So-
that is bad. So you're taking a regular one and making a short out of it.
Yes. So I'm exploring through shorts or trailers.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah, that's different. Yeah, I like
See, that is different. I like that because what you're basically doing is like,
That's
because
really
you know when
cool.
you're on Netflix, man, you know, now it used to be when you go on there, you play the trailer. Now you click on it and it starts playing that little bit. So might have been some of the, you know, as you're like looking for something to watch, it starts playing the little short, the little trailer. So that's kind of a cool way to
Exactly.
see it. And then you're framing it. Now, see, I've always been an advocate of, I'm not a vertical video guy. I don't like them. I go crazy when they put them on the news and they say, someone shot it, and you're like, what's happening over here? This is the perfect sort of a thing. And now this makes a lot of sense to me when I look at this, because the original one, here it is, and now you're making it work for the phone, but then if you want to see the full experience, you can.
Yeah. So whenever you are creating shorts, you can set if the short will be cut to vertical or horizontal, but it's not going to be cut because
Nice.
if you'll be turning your phone around, it will be
Oh.
zooming out or in, so you'll see both
That-
vertical
Oh, look
and
at that.
horizontal.
Yeah,
Yep.
so then this makes so much sense now. You totally get it, where you can just, you know, modify it with
And-
those.
Yeah, the reasons behind shorts are a couple. So when you will spend time on TikTok, there will be a situation when there is going to be great short form content, but it's going to end in a minute. So what I really wanted to do is to explore more of that content. And
Yep.
people are like linking the original content on YouTube to their TikTok videos, and I'm just not able to go from that exploration to the original. Because you have like time when you have low attention span, when I don't know, you're commuting, you just want to swipe up and down and tap right, left, and explore multiple stuff. But there is a situation when you want to turn around your phone and you want to spend 15 minutes watching something that is relevant to you. So for us, that short form exploration, like on TikTok and Instagram stories, is definitely for exploring something even longer and better. And the good thing about shorts is that if you'll start creating those shorts, you'll be compensated for those shorts as well. Those are web monetized too. And the way it works is that if I'll, as a Coil member, will be watching Chip's short on Jeff's original, Jeff is going to earn the exact amount he would earn if I was watching his content, but Chip is going to earn on top of that from our revenue.
Yeah, that's really amazing. You know, I'm looking at what you guys are doing, and you're right. You know, because one of the things that, you know, we always talk about when you look at content, and there's a couple big YouTube players out there in the space right now that will take their long videos and they chop them up into little segments, and then they blast those little segments out there. They create an entire, and it might be a 2-minute segment, 3-minute segment of an hour-long interview, you know, but it gets you fired up on that short segment, and you're like, oh, now I got to go watch the whole thing. But you can also take little bits and pieces. So I'm wondering, you know, as you go into your short and you have the 15-second, can you potentially, you know, patch a couple of these short segments together? You know, I guess as you're scrolling through, you can, you know, take, you know, some little clips. Can you do multiples out of one, or can you only do like one 15-second?
So, first of all, we want to validate this path of Cinnamon. We want to check out how people will react to creating of shorts, and it's a very complex issue because when you have a native app, the content is streamed to you in chunks. So if you look at those editing tools that are on your phone, they always use the content that is also on your phone. So you are using native SDKs to cut, crop, edit, text effects, whatever. But we are talking about streamed content from external resource. So it was extremely challenging to accomplish that and to give you the ability to cut that content and get it out of the platform within a few seconds. So we'll see how people will react to that. And in the future, there may be an option to tie together those shorts and to be even more creative. Like, we want to create a completely new type of creators of shorts. If you'll think about TikTok, when you have original music and then you are using it in different videos, it's very similar to shorts. So like, TikTok is all about music and remixing music with different bunch of content. In our case, it's going to be video that you are going to remix. And just let me go back a bit and tell you another problem, but not with TikTok, when you have a short form content and you would love to see the longer one. The problem with YouTube. So if I have a group of friends on Facebook and we chat over Messenger, if I'll just share with them 25 minutes long video from YouTube, they'll not care at all, right? But if I'll just share with them a GIF that is a meme, or just a part of that video that will strike with them, that's exactly what you want to do. And based on that, they will be even more willing to watch that 25 minutes long content. So we think this is a game changer. This is quite unique for Cinnamon, and we'll see if the audience will prove that we are right or not.
That's really cool.
In a few weeks.
Yeah, that's really great. I mean, you know, seeing what you guys are pulling together, you know, to me is, you know, it's impressive, you know, because here again, you know, if you look at where your origins were and you set your targets on a TikTok or a YouTube, you know, you have to come up with something different. You know, if you're just trying to play in the YouTube space, the streaming payments are cool, you know, but it's still a big hill to climb. Offering something that's different within any model, you know, is, I think, it becomes more important because now it brands the recognition or identification that Cinnamon is an innovator in the space as well, you know, doing something, you know, unique like that. But I like where you're going with the shorts. As you're making videos, I like that idea of clipping it out, being a little more creative with the shorts, you know, and seeing what we can do with that. And then having, now I know on YouTube, I think when you do shorts, those short segments, not, you know, those shorter segments, I don't know what they're called on YouTube, but I think you have to have X number of subscribers before you even do anything like that. So YouTube is notorious for limiting your ability to market yourself on YouTube until you hit certain, you know, levels, or, you know, sub base. Is that going to be similar? Are you going to roll out kind of like all the features right away to a YouTube creator? Okay,
everyone.
Bam.
That's it's interesting.
Well, we have
to build. Yep.
Yeah, we try to do something. We try to do a thing where we said, like, yeah, let's do those little fun videos, those little vertical videos, and, you know, just little things that are in our head. And I'm like, how come it doesn't show up on my phone? Oh, because you have to hit a certain, like this is what Jeff's talking about, this certain level. I want to talk a little bit about this. So monetization without algorithms, that is something that, Jeff and I really like. So your new revenue model is 18 cents per watched hour of originals and 9 cents off your shorts. Now, this is a radically different departure from what, on the streaming side. Yeah, okay, it's great because, on YouTube, this video right here is Coil monetized. It has been since the beta program. So we monetize, and it's just amazing. Of all the people that watch our videos, we see those streaming payments. But when you start thinking about it, to watch an hour of content, what actually gets streamed, this right here, this model right here is pretty exciting for creators. And then Jeff and I easily see for ourselves, on the YouTube side, we'll hit 100,000, we'll hit 70,000 in a month of content. Now, this is pretty cool for creators, but for anybody, that wants to create on your platform. And that's what I like about this. I feel like there are so many people that have stuff to say that they should really, if they want to do it, forget about YouTube. Don't say that, but we don't want to be censored, but you really get out there and go on Cinnamon, create yourself an account and just start doing something, because you'll find your voice inside. And you'll be surprised you got something to share with the world that's an interesting perspective. And then if you start looking at this, you say, whoa, let me see, that's not, well, if I get 1,000 watched hours, that's $180, right? So can you talk a little bit about this model and what was the inspiration behind this? Because now if we look at XRP, and I don't know what it is right now, Jeff, because I don't usually look at price, but this is pretty solid.
We think so. And it's based on the payout rate from Coil, and we take our own cut, and then we give to you as much as we can, so we can support you even more on your journey. And yeah, like if you'll create your own short and if you'll create on your own video, you will be earning 27 cents, just to let you know, because you will always earn from short as an original creator of original video. And yeah, these numbers are all based on what Coil is willing to pay out to web monetized creators. We just know what's our cut today to cover our expenses. And based on that, we just calculated the payout rate from us to creators.
So just quick, just to say, is the monetization and the payout, is it coming directly from Cinnamon, or is it coming from Coil? How does that work? Because like say like with YouTube right now, you go through, we have to register with YouTube. We put our tax ID number in with YouTube. And then they had things split up a little bit in terms of how you track it. Sometimes it's a little complex to track it, but YouTube takes a 30% cut no matter what. And then they give you the rest, but it's, and then it's paid out when it hits a certain level. But from that perspective, we know it's designated, let's say from our purpose, we put it all under a company tax ID number, so we don't have to worry, is that kind of, how is your monetization structure going to work, pay out to content creators?
So Coil is paying out creators, and those creators are us or you or anyone else. And it's going to work in a similar way as it works now. So you will just have your payment pointer, or you will have multiple payment pointers, and on each video you will select a different one. And those payment pointers are attached to your wallet somewhere, so maybe Uphold. And you'll add that tax ID there. We don't care about your organization or whether you are individual or how are you going to spend that money. It's all up to you. And we don't want to have that hassle to deal with each individual.
Which wallets do you support now? Which wallets are you supporting? I mean,
you can find the list of wallets on webmonetization.org. Currently, I guess it's the GateHub and Uphold. There's been Stronghold, but I don't know what happened with that.
Interesting. Okay.
Gotcha.
Seems like there's a lot of focus on Uphold as a potential platform partner.
It's great. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. I was
And it'll
wondering
also,
about
you can try it out, but there is nothing else than, like, I can recommend it to immediately, because we use Uphold as organization, and it'll notify you every 15 seconds about the payout, so you'll exactly know how much you earn from your content via web monetization and in the ledger.
Yeah,
And
then,
the whole interface is just amazing.
well, the other thing that we're pretty excited about too, and I was talking about Rain, who had his channel deleted earlier in the show, but talk a little bit about the ability to stream live, because I think this is a pretty cool, I know this has been asked about a lot. I know we've all been asking about it, but talk a little bit about when you think you'll be able to stream live, and will you support things like Restream.io, where I can stream not only to other places, multiple places, let's say Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and then Cinnamon, something like that. Is that going to be something that might be possible?
It may be. We have to contact the Restream.io and find a way to partner with them so they can put us in their list of supported media where you can live stream content. So there's definitely an option. We are still busy at accomplishing everything that's going on at the moment, and I can say that live stream should be live somewhere in Q1 2021. I know you all are waiting for it, but we are a very small team of 14 people at the company, so it's we have to be careful when choosing next steps.
Yeah, well, I think it's, I mean, look, the ability, I mean, on the beta.cinnamon.video, you guys are rolling on. You guys can click the link below if you, to get over there. But I think what's exciting for us is also the ability to schedule a video. A lot of times we upload it, we want it to say, it's going to be available at a certain time. Let's say Jeff and I finish a video, we want to have it available tomorrow morning. That too is going to be something great where you don't have to remember to go publish it. You can just schedule it. Now, is that something too that will roll out soon, or is that going to be like a Q1 as well?
That should come out pretty soon. I'm not saying with the launch of beta, but we are again super excited about that, because if you think about Cinnamon as a tool and not the replacement of YouTube, you still want to stay on YouTube with your entire audience, but you know that you have that community surrounding you, and you chat with that community somewhere on the web, and you can leverage from Cinnamon when we will have scheduling, because then you can place that content exclusively only for Coil members, including your fans and community, and then with them you can prepare your next big release on YouTube. So you will let your fans to create shorts, and then you'll schedule distribution. Not only like you'll make it public on Cinnamon so anybody can watch it, but you can also schedule the release on YouTube, and then you can trigger your fans to do the same at the same time. So how we want to help creators today and bring them instant value is in increasing the exposure and eyeballs on platforms you don't know where your audience may be. So it may be like your audience may be on TikTok, but if you are not promoting your content on TikTok, then how will you ever find those? But your community can help you out with that, with shorts. So this is how we are going to position Cinnamon today, and let the community grow with us.
Nice.
It's interesting. So as a utility platform to really help the sharing, distribution, there's a lot of features that you can add in and offer. That's great. And it comes down to, I think, as we see, fan bases grow, and then the monetization of the fan base. This is one of the things that you'd mentioned. It's more community driven. It's also a little bit more of an exclusive group, because people do they, and well, here's the question then, do they require a Coil membership or subscription in order to view content on Cinnamon? Or
That's
like
that's up to you. So whenever you are going to upload videos on Cinnamon, you can set that you want them to be exclusively only accessible to Coil members, or they can be accessible by anyone. That doesn't mean you are not going to pay out from those that are watching through Coil membership. And you mentioned the reducing of friction points. So another thing that we are going to add with the new Cinnamon is the option to sign up using another social media like Facebook, Google, Twitter, and many others in the future. You will be also able to sign up using Apple.
I love that. I like
Wait
that
a minute,
idea.
Jeff. Hang on a second, Jeff. Just slow down. Say that again. You're going to sign up using what? What was the last
Apple.
one? That's right, Jeff. Did you hear that? This is awesome news.
What? I think I was I had some interference. What was
This is awesome news. You know, it's funny because I'm an Apple guy and he's an Android guy, and so we have these sort of battles back and forth, and you know, we always have a little playful fun with that. But that's sort of the inside type of thing with us. But I wanted to get to this. Go ahead. You want to jump in?
Yes, so I have a question for you guys. Like we've been figuring this out for ages when building the sign up flows. If Jeff, you are Android fan, right? And you use everything Android. Would you consider having an option to sign up via Apple on your Android app? Because there may be a corner case for this. So before you had Apple, but then you switched to Android. And you've been using sign up through Apple for ages. So would you love to have that option there, or you will be pissed off by seeing Apple on the app on Android?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think it's important. So here's a perfect example. You know, you go in. Let's say you want to use Skype as an example, and they force you to use your Microsoft login, right? But I'm like, I don't have a Microsoft login, you know. But now I'm using a Microsoft PC. I still don't have a Microsoft login, you know. So now I got to go and create a Microsoft login in order to use that app. Guess what? I don't use it. You know, I have no purpose in using it. Every time I go to use it, I forget what my login is, you know, and then I have to disengage from it. But I think having multiple ways to do it, because if I have for whatever reason, an Apple account, which I don't, but let's say I did, you know, then I would want to use it, you know, in order to keep everything under one specific login. You know, having the option to use the Google is great, you know, or if you want to do Twitter or Facebook, whatever you want to do, I think it makes it so much easier. And maybe that's your preference. You know, I have a Twitter account specifically to log into other accounts, and that's all I use it for. Or maybe that's my primary, but I like having that flexibility to not have to create another user experience. I think it's more secure that way too.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, I think it's important.
Yeah, from my perspective too, I kind of agree with Jeff. I think if you, it could be now in Jeff's case, it's not. I'm still working on him on Apple. We'll get there at some point. But you know, it's funny the whole thing of if I go on a website, right? I'm on my phone, I'm looking at something. Wow, this is really cool. I don't know, and I click over there. If they make me sign a form, I'm like, take my money, and then they go like, first name, last name, credit. I'm like, I don't have time for this. That's how low my attention span is. I like
cancel.
I cancel. Now, if they put an Apple Pay button, and I'm there, and I do my face, it's there. So it's like when I start thinking about ways to, you know, like on the tipping side, it says I want to do a tip, and this is one of the things that I think is really cool about the YouTube thing. It's like if someone's watching a live stream and they want to tip, well, it's really easy to do. It's like you just, you know, I already have a Google account. I already have it. It's already tied and everything. And I just click a button, put an amount in, and I can do that. So if I'm in the Apple ecosystem, I'm more probably preferential to do that. But on a workflow, you know, if you're using OAuth for Twitter, I prefer that because, man, I know my login, and all I have to do is authorize it, and it becomes part of the app, and I'm already logged into Twitter. There's nothing I have to do. And I think these kind of moves to embrace what people are already using is going to be key because, I mean, we have too many logins to keep track of as it is, right? And you want to have different ones. I mean, I use like 1Password, and I have complex, I work in tech, so I've got like 26 characters, special characters. I use a lot of different things, and I have unique ones for everyone. But if I have to go type that in somewhere, like, I can't, if there's a scenario where I can't put it in, I'm never going to type it right the first time, second time, third time. But I like the idea of having that workflow and ability to just make it simple, right? If you keep it simple, that old thing, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, applies in almost everything we do. Yep. And to me, I love it. So having that kind of built-in feature is going to make it easy for people to just register and start using it.
And that's
exactly
objective, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
then when they will bump into exclusive content only for Coil members, we will ask you to just connect to your Coil account.
Yeah, that's another point also that we ran into. So let's say we have our on-the-chain Coil account. Then I have my personal Coil account. I would like to be able to just switch on the fly without having to log out and log back in. I'd like to have an opportunity to just select multiple accounts and switch through the platform, similar to any other experience. Like if I'm on Twitter, I can go through and log into my accounts, and I can go account by account and not have to log in and log out, which has been, kind of an issue on Coil, is that you're just stuck. That's it.
Same with
your one login, and then you log out, and then you don't have an OAuth to log back in to make it simple. But to have that in your platform, I think would be nice to be able to log in and out of multiple accounts, or without logging out, just switch through multiple accounts.
We're definitely aiming for that feature, but I can't promise it will go out this year.
Come on, Rob, you have to promise us. No,
come on. By the end of Q4, come on.
Yeah, Q4. So I want to talk about something else that caught our eye. This whole idea of testing content to kind of get an understanding how the audience feels when they're watching a video. You have something new that you're launching called an emotion detecting AI, which is artificial intelligence. What is that all about? That sounds pretty interesting, but how's that going to work, or how do you envision that us using that feature?
Got it. So at the beginning of this year, we acquired this AI technology. We also made it even more efficient, and currently it's 97% accuracy of 7 base emotions. And by making it efficient, we also reduce the size of that AI. So we can run it on your device, anywhere, in the browser, in the native app. And we know that the world today and in 2020 is pretty sensitive to anything happening, including the AI and face recognition. And face recognition is different than the emotion recognition, because with emotion recognition, we are just recognizing emotions, and we don't care about face or surroundings around you. And as that is happening on the device, we just send anonymized data to our backends. But we are pulling back from that for now until people will think it's better to use these tools. And we are testing it with just a couple of production companies and a couple of startups that will just license the AI from us. And how it works is that you will have an option with the exclusive video to watch it through web monetization or via AI. So if I'm a fan and I don't want to pay for Coil subscription and pay you with money, I can pay you with data. And what you will get for that is the understanding how people react to your content. And it's kind of unique metadata about your videos. So if you expect people being, I don't know, surprised or angry or disgust after watching some parts of your content, you will see what's happening and what's peaking, what time. But as I said, we are not going to release that in any upcoming future. But what we are playing with is the ability to give that option to creators to detect how they, what kind of emotions they have in the videos. So in our case, right now, we would see that I'm smiling most of the time, and you guys are smiling as well, or sometimes you're laughing, and most of the time we are having neutral emotions. So it can be also helpful for creators to understand how we put emotions in the video. Because if I'll be laughing all the time, I guess my audience will start laughing as well. That's what's happening in real life. If I'll come to the meeting room depressed and sad, I'll probably project that emotions to others surrounding me in that meeting room. So we'll see what we will do with technology.
That sounds like a useful feature to put into all these Zoom calls, and I know they call them Zoom. We don't use Zoom because it's not, my organization, because it's not really secure. But everyone knows it as a Zoom call. That would be good technology to put into that. So when people are, mostly depressed on these long meetings that run long, and because you can't get in a group setting. You can't break bread or have food together. You're sitting there. You don't want to eat on camera because it's really weird. So you kind of take a bite over here. You know what I mean? And 2020 has been a weird thing. I'm like, if we get out of 2020 without an asteroid hitting Earth, I think we cut our losses there. I think we're doing well. I think we only have a little bit more time, because I saw that on the calendar. I was like, there could be an asteroid hitting Earth. I'm like, well, it's 2020, in hindsight. 2020 is some.
But that's really an interesting tech, I think, and like what Chip is saying, definitely applicable on that side. The fact that you guys are able to license it elsewhere, think about it from a political perspective. It puts some of those, every time we have debates over here, they always have a polling, and they watch the emotions of the people responding to how the presidential debaters are what they're saying. How do people react? So that would be interesting to be able to license it to a company like that, and you get the emotions of the audience, of the people that are participating, and then they can do it online, right? So they don't have to do it in person. You can monitor a huge group of people. Data is the most valuable thing ever. So the more types of data points that you can collect, it's valuable to a lot of people. And so that's one of the things that you look from an algorithm perspective, if the algorithms are good. But I think you're onto something for sure with the AI and collecting of that kind of data without it being necessarily facial or spatial recognition. Like you said, you want to focus specifically on the emotional aspect. Obviously, it can be developed, much, much further. But even just allowing the YouTubers to have it on to identify, was I smiling? Was I happy? Was I not? How were the audience members, reacting? What was the drop-off points? And there's a lot more to engage with that. But to that point, right now when you're on YouTube, you can basically give a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
It's such old tech, Jeff.
It's old tech, but it's one reaction.
Yeah, it's one reaction,
and that's it. So let's say we start off. I'm like, oh, this is the best video ever. Thumbs up. Then I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, these guys suck. I don't, you just said something I don't like, but now I'm gonna do a thumbs down. But I like most of the content. Are you gonna create? I don't even know if it's possible, but are you able to create a scenario with additional types of reactionaries, that are giving you just more of a audience engagement with the video? So not just one thumbs up, one thumbs down, but is there a way, even a measurable, to do that so that the audience is engaging? Maybe they're throwing in comments, but that they could, I don't know, somehow rate the video a little bit further. Is that even relevant, or am I thinking crazy?
So when we knew that we are not going to launch AI and massively and give it as option to watch exclusive content by accessing your webcam, what we've done is that we replaced hypes with all these 7 base emotions. So whenever you're going to watch videos on Cinnamon from now on, you'll see those 7 emotions, and you can tap on them in any time, in any part of the video, multiple times. So by that, then we will have those analytics that will show you how people react to different sections of the video. Awesome. Is this the right answer?
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's very cool. Yeah, so one of the things that's brilliant about the platform on the comments section, so I look at the comments, I watch a video, I watch the comments, says that was an awesome video, I loved it, best video ever, and they did it at 45 seconds. So when you look at it, you know that they commented on 45 seconds. It's a 5-minute video. They said it was the best. You know what I'm saying? So I love the whole idea of if someone starts commenting on it and you knew the part they were talking about, because sometimes, you know, that's so important for creators too. You talk about feedback and someone says something, well, you put a long video together. You don't even, what are they talking about? Like, I didn't like blah, blah, blah. And you're like, did I say something? When you know when they started commenting, that's so important for a creator too. I think that's a brilliant, overlooked sort of a feature, because as a creator or somebody putting a video up, and even if you're watching a video just as an onlooker, you kind of can see exactly what point they said it, and you can kind of like, oh, that's interesting, go back to it.
Go back and watch it, yeah.
Yeah, and go back and watch it. I like that. And you know what? I mean, just in keeping in time, Jeff, I always hate to be I'm like the official timekeeper.
I was going to say something, but
thank you, Jeff.
Ready to see if you would. But
well, here's the thing,
you're
Jeff.
the one to cut it off. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. I want to get out. So we are starting. We have a really new thing to introduce right now, and it is an exclusive. Jeff, let's talk a little bit about the Backstage and our Cinnamon exclusive. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so a number of months back, we started kind of playing around with an idea of, you know, bringing some of our leaders in the digital asset space and the builders, the visionaries, and creating some exclusive behind the scenes content to get to know them a little bit more. So that's what we're going to be doing, and it's all going to be exclusive on the Cinnamon platform. So we're excited about that. So tonight is going to be the kickoff, where we are going to go over to Cinnamon right now. We're going to wrap up here on YouTube. All the links, everything you need are below. We're also going to put some in the chat right now, and follow that link. Go over to Cinnamon, and you can watch a little bit more, where we're going to discuss how Rob actually got into the digital asset space. We want to explore that a little more. We want to get to know Rob as a, you know, behind the scenes, as a creator, as a leader, as a visionary in the blockchain development space. So that's what it's all about, and it's going to be Backstage with On the Chain with our blockchain leaders, our digital asset leaders, and our builders in this space. So is that so good? Is that how? What?
Man, that was good. Let's can we make that a short? That's perfect short right there, Jeff.
There you
go. Boom.
Flip it.
Take 15 seconds out of that right there. So, Rob, thank you for coming on the chain. What a pleasure to have you. Man, really, it's super cool to learn about all these new features. I thought you gave our audience and us a really good understanding of what's to come as we see these new features roll out. Thank you. I want to give you the last what is the thing? The last word. That's it, Jeff. Last word, Rob.
Okay. I haven't thought about that, so
it's okay. Just on the fly.
On the spot.
I would just love to ask everyone trying Cinnamon to be patient. We are a small team, being here just for you guys, for creators around us that are facing trouble. So so that's it. And don't forget to provide us with the feedback. We are listening, and we are busy building incredible things for you.
That's awesome. Thank you for being here, guys. Click on the link below. Let's go over to Cinnamon, and let's go Backstage with Rob. Take care. Right. This is Chip. This is Jeff. Rob. We'll see you guys on the next one. I want to thank everybody for being here today. You can always go to onthechain.io to see some more of our content. But thank you for being here. You guys are what make it special, because your contributions, what you do, you're some of the smartest human beings on the planet. And Jeff and I love you. Rob, too, if I might add. I'm just putting it out there for you, Rob, but I'm just saying. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Let's take care. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.